Alright, time to go through everyone's favorite feature, incubation. So if you're like me and you tracked it with spreadsheets and had things all over the place and hatching and turners and just messy, this is definitely super useful. So if you're new, this is Poultry Pro. How to create records and systems for your poultry. And this is the free account for just kind of going over some of the basic features and how to use it. This is after you've already created an account, set up your flocks and your birds. The easiest way to do it is to start at the dashboard, and you can just click the update status in the incubation, and you can go ahead and put in your batch number. I like to number it with the year and then what number it is. You can do it with the pen. You can do however you would like to number it. You can go ahead and say the species in here, and it'll auto-populate with your schedule so that you have an idea of what it should be set at. You can associate it with a flock, and if you do, it'll track the flock's fertility, which is kind of fun. And then your start date, however many eggs, we'll say 100. And just your notes, what you're setting the temperature and the humidity at, as well as if it's completed or a failed hatch and you want to put it in there after the fact, you absolutely can do that too, as well as any notes. And then you just click Start Incubation. And the fun part about this is it'll automatically populate in here in this upcoming tasks and reminders. It'll automatically give you a notice when there's a lockdown, when there's candling, when they're expected to hatch for every single thing that you're running. So it's a really good reminder in there just so that you don't forget anything that's going on. And then once you have it, say you've been going for a little while and you want to check up on it, you can go up to this production tab. You can also click Start Incubation here, and it just brings you to the same kind of form in here. And you can go in, it'll auto-populate when your expected hatch date is and your expected lockdown. You can change those if you would like. You can change the candling date, whatever is going to work best for you. And you can go ahead and update. So you can go back and edit or delete them at any point. The other thing that I find is really, really useful is these checkpoints. So if you go and you candle them, you can select the batch. You can say candling, how many eggs were developing, how many were infertile, and how many were doubtful. So say I had 100, and I'll say 95 were developing, 5 were infertile, and 0 were doubtful. And it's automatically calculating my fertility rate from that. And we'll say after that I went to lockdown and I candled in lockdown. I can say how many eggs went to lockdown, 95, and I removed 5 of them, right? And my fertility rate stays the same, right? And then we'll say that I've got that same batch and it's been 5 days later and they hatched, right? I can go in, I can say when my hatch date was in here. I can say I had 85 chicks hatch, 2 hatched with issues, and then just leave it. I don't even have to put in how many died in the shell or unhatched if I don't want to. It's just a way to keep track of it if you do. And I can put in notes in here, right? I can say the chicks with issues had splayed leg that fixed, or whatever I would like, and add the checkpoint. And it automatically calculates my hatch rate for me too, which is pretty nice. If you go and the reports page, if you upgrade your account, you can see what that hatch rate is per flock. You get notifications if that hatch rate goes high or low, things like that. And you get an overall success, fertility, hatchability. And what that hatch rate was, which is, it's kind of fun. You get to see your chart and your points and follow that all through. But if you are brand new to the game or you don't want to pay for that, you definitely can get a pretty good feel for everything in the incubation with the free account too. So yeah, that's all there is to it on the incubation one.